Hey, we're talking today about inflation. It's everywhere. We're hearing it in housing, we're hearing it with gas, we're hearing it with groceries. Um, Everything seems to be going in one direction price wise, and your clients are going to start to feel the pinch. So, what are you going to do about it?
I think what you first have to do about it is not ever be the sky is falling, no matter what. You don't have to be Pollyanna. You don't have to be everything's great. Ignore what everybody's saying. But at the same time, you have to be pragmatic. If you wallow in this downturn, which again is something that happens pretty cyclically, it's been about that time that we're ready for a slight downturn.
We were ready for it when COVID hit. We were
Correct.
starting to experience it when COVID hit, and
We
COVID
were.
delayed it.
Yes, it did.
So, this is just normal economic cycle.
Absolutely. So everybody, again, you don't have to lie. You don't have to pretend like everything's great, but also on a daily basis, pointing out we all know gas is more expensive. We all know that we're spending more money at the grocery store right now. We all know that things are going to are starting to look a little tighter. It's not about that. We want to be, why would you rather, who do you want to talk to? Somebody that you go up to when all they're ever doing is complaining, or somebody you can have a nice back and forth conversation with. So let's stay that professional.
Yes.
It's all over. It's done.
And don't ever predict what's going to happen. I am seeing so many professionals tell their clients what's going to happen next. You're an idiot. Do you not want future business? You want to make Karnak the Magnificent predictions and have your clients coming back to you saying, you told me that this is what was going to happen. You told me to wait and prices would come down. And here I am in this rental where they jacked up the rent by 50% and I can't afford to live anymore.
Right. I'll tell you what, I mean, this is just an off the subject thing, but when I bought my business in June of 2008, fantastic time, by the way.
Yeah.
I had been since that March listening to some of those talking heads that you still see today on the TV, the guy who likes to be real loud and smacking buys and sells and stuff like that, talking about how this thing was going to be over by August. I mean, I can replay what I watched him say over and over. And I said, fine, it's great. And that was the beginning of a lot of downturn that did not, that lasted years.
Yeah.
Not just for a few months. And I have never, all those people on that panel, given a second thought about what they've said for 14 years now, because that ruined my life to an extent.
Yeah. For a while.
We were in debt for a very, very, very long time not because of that. I mean, obviously we made the choice, but, and maybe, you couldn't have predicted it, but then saying, making these predictions that it was a 3-month thing when it was a 3-4 year thing was ridiculous.
So, and when we as agents take on the prediction of the housing market and advise clients based on, our feelings or, I've heard so many people say, oh, the market's slowing down. I'm like, it's freaking June. Do you look at the data? The market always slows down in June in Chicagoland. I don't know where you've been, but that's how it goes. So are we, and Danielle and I obviously bring this up a lot because it's happening a lot now. But when we're talking about inflation, when we're talking about prices rising, we need to be very careful that we're giving our clients the best advice. They look to us, the professionals, for the filter on that information. So if I were your financial advisor, I would probably say, Danielle, Jim Cramer has a show that's all about screaming and jumping around and making bold predictions, and he has absolutely no repercussions for what comes or doesn't come to play. But we as realtors are that trusted advisor. We need to be talking to our clients about, okay, in this market, maybe you still have to go to or above list price to buy a house. Are you comfortable with that? If the market did go down tomorrow, would you be okay in this house at this price? Not, well, I think it's going to crash and you should wait because everything's going to be on sale. It's going to be 2009 again.
It's almost never 2009 again, guys.
No. And God knows we do not want to go to 2009 again.
I don't know why we're waiting for that. Why people
it was horrific.
Are excited about that prospect.
It was not a good time. The only people who could buy anything in 2009 had cash. It was so hard to get a mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those houses that looked like good deals, and by the way, they didn't really look like good deals because maybe they'll go down further. Maybe we'll wait longer. And they did. And they waited and they waited and they waited and they lived in their parents' basement. Yep. And they lived in the wrong house. Our job as professionals is to get people into the right place for them to live that serves themselves, that serves their families, that serves whoever they live with, and provides a measure of happiness and contentment for our community, not to rile people up or depress everybody, like Danielle says. You know what? People need to move. People are going to need to move. And our job right now, and this is what we really wanted to hit on today, is to help them. Who's going to need our help because they're going to be in a position of unaffordability? And how do we get to them before the worst happens? So start talking to your clients, listen to them. You don't have to be the superhero. You don't have to get on a box with a megaphone and predict what's going to happen with the market. Just listen. Are they in pain? Do they need to make a change because of financial reasons? Right now is when you're going to start to hear that. And you're in a position to help. So let's help them.
And if you're constantly negative and you're only playing one side of this coin of what's going on right now, if they're in a bind and you say it's awful, they'll go and then possibly dig themselves without you even knowing into a further pit because things are going bad enough. They don't want to make a bad decision.
Yeah. I saw a post the other day of a woman who was in a bad financial position. And she said her realtor told her to wait to buy. She needs to stop renting where she's renting. And she needs to stop losing all of that money and get into a position where she can start to rebuild her life and rebuild her equity. And her realtor told her that the market is going to come down and she needs to wait. Now, I only got, a paragraph of this person's life, but to me, it doesn't sound like that agent is serving her client very well. So we need to listen and look at what people are really experiencing and try to find the best solution for them.
Absolutely. Trusted advisor, not pusher, one way or another, not politician or political expert. Facts, data, and asking the right questions to get to the bottom of everything.
Yeah. And the answer is going to be different for different people. So again, those announcements don't even make any sense.
Absolutely.
So let's raise the bar in our profession and get out there and help people. There's a lot of help that's needed. So we really can, those that believe in realtor as servant, there's a lot of opportunity for us right now. So.
Absolutely.
See you next week.